Okay, good morning everybody, and once again welcome back in the today's class. Today we're on the day number 5 of this class, and we're going to do a little deep dive more on that yesterday concepts. Okay, let me share my screen. So yesterday we started discussing about the policy and compliance. We see what is a regulatory body. We talk about the authority document. So mainly the authority document. So body is something which has a right to be maintained, sorry, to maintain this and to be carry this or manage this. And authority document is the one which present or which called or which has the status, framework, standards, and the best practice collection. And as per the organization need, we can choose that which authority document should or is fitting in our requirement. Okay. And also a single authority document is, I mean, in a single authority document, there is a multiple sections. It doesn't mean that if I say that I'm running a business and IT standards, all IT standards applicable for me, it's not like that. In that also might be only one standard or two standards are applicable for me. So this is what we are going to be discuss. We are going to be see in the authority document. So a document contains name, source, category, version, valid from, valid to, and compliance. And authority document can be of type audit guidelines. So let's say now to be understand a little bit more, in our constitution, it is mentioned that the number of laws are mentioned. So we can say that those types are my authority document types. Means I can see authority document which contains only audit guidelines. I can see a document which contains only best practices. I can see authority document which is for the safe harbor, which is for the international or the national standards. Means as per the need of your business, you can pick up the type of authority document that this document is fitting in my business, and I have to be see the further sections of the controller risk in that. Once you get a document, then you have to be cited. Cited means, let me come back here. Hmm. Cite means that you are referring someone in your organization. Referring that this refer doesn't mean that you're referring for a job. Let's say if you go for the interview, an interview, it has been asked that how to become a BA or how to become a BPC. And you are saying that one of my friend Atul says that to become a BA you should need a functional knowledge. It means that you are quoting my words by taking my name. That is called citation. If you are using someone name, someone words in your work, in your area, in your domain, you are citing that. So like when we do the research work, in the research paper, when we write a research paper, we have to be cited that I read the research paper for these researcher earlier, and they also say that early to bed, early to rise make a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. It is not only my thinking. The previous researchers, the earlier researchers also say the same thing. So I am citing their name in my research. So citation is a record which specify requirements cited by an authority document. Means in an authority document, I can say that there is a section 142. So it will be cited like law book page 5. Early to bed, early to rise, make a healthy, wealthy and wise. This particular statement I am citing in my work. And citation is something which connect the authority document into the its applicable control. If I show you one picture like this, ये देखो, this is agency, this is authority document, and this is citation. And from the citation, I am getting my control objectives. If I take a little bit more example for the citation part, now being a human, it is taught to us that yesterday also we pick up this example that do your work and don't worry about the fruit. Is these words or these type of thought is only written in our book Gita, or something similar has been written in somewhere in the Bible, might be somewhere in Quran as well. So almost every religious book has the same thoughts that you just do your work, rest everything leave on the God. So it means I can cite multiple documents for a single thing. Every religion say that respect the human being. When I say every religion means you can say you can pick up any of the religion. So religion, not religion, religion. So this is the purpose of the citation, so that you can know tomorrow if auditor come and say, okay, do you have this document? Yes. How? Why you have this document? Because this has been given under the implementation of the service now. So now what you have is agency, you have authority document, and you have a citation. And after the citation, and citation includes name, reference, everything, and type. What type of citation are you doing? Are you doing the control? Are you doing the control objective or core topic or the process? That from the ISO, from the authority document, I am picking up the ISO standard. This is a this is a citation which I'm using for the process purpose. Once you cite it, then you will get a control objective from there. Before you enter in a building or whenever you enter in a lift, a big text is written. In case of fire, don't use this lift. And it is applicable for every type of lift. Either you are in office, either you are at home, or might be either you are at some hotel. So from there we get the control objectives. So it is an objective direction or standard that act as a guidance for a company. If you want to run a business, make sure you have the certificate from FSSAI and from the ISO company. Sorry, and from the ISI. ये guidance है. This is a guidance, not a rule. To safeguard yourself, I'm giving guidance. Hey, if you're driving, better you have a good insurance. If someone smoke, it doesn't mean that he or she cannot take the life insurance. He or she still can take a life insurance. But the claim amount will be less and the premium amount will be high. Clear हो यहाँ तक सबको? And also controllability can be categorized, classified for the other components as well. When we go in the service now and when we see about UCF and authority document, then you come to know. For a company to run a business just for the incident management, there are the controls. Nobody should able to open the incident when it is closed. Simple, hai? Because there is a risk. If people are able to reopen the incident even after close, you cannot calculate the productivity of the actual hour spent. So from the control objectives, what we got? These field name, source, and classification. That this control objective is for the preventive purpose, corrective purpose, or detective purpose, or any IT impact zone is there. और control objective attest होते हैं. Attest means someone in the business say yes, this is applicable for us, and we are happy to take it in the account. Because as I say, might be in a single standard there are multiple controls. Is every control applicable for me? No. Only one is applicable from that group or from that set of standards or the authority document. Only one is applicable for you. So now these are the fields and these are the control objective type. That what type of control you want to put it. Let's say we take example of the house, right? And I say in my house I have a kid. So it is not that only one type of control objective is required. I have to make sure that none of the furniture have a sharp corner. It is a control objective from that the child should able to roam it. I have to make sure that I should not put any hot utensils on the table height which is below might be 1 meter because kids can touch it. That is control objective. So one is from the security perspective and one is from the health perspective. तो हो गए दो टाइप के. So in the same manner in service now we have a different type of control objective that for which area you want to be applied. Same example, Sonam and Anu are doing a business of the baking. In FSSAI there are the 100 type of control objectives are there. But for me or for their business only one or two is applicable. One is applicable for the behavior and one is applicable for the maintenance. Clear everybody till this point? Any doubt, any question, clarification? Good. Now, it is a category as well. One is a type and second is a category. Sometimes category and the type looks same. So if you see here, audit and risk is there. So type is depreciation, type is technical security, type is system continuity. So if in your company you see that you're not allowed to be enter in this data center, it means there is some standard my company is following, and due to standard we have this control objective on the place. Control is on the place. So we can decide that what type of category is required for us, and then it is summary. So it means a single control objective can be cited from the multiple authority document. Same example, a line has been written that do your karma and don't worry about the fruit. So if tomorrow in a debate I have to start open, so what I will say that you pick up any of the religion book, either Gita, either Quran, either Bible, any book, if you open and see that every book says to the human being, don't worry about the karma, just do your karma and don't wait for the results. So it can be single as well, it can be multiple as well, and a control objective can be come from the different authority documents as well. ऐसा नहीं है एक में से ही लेना है. Now, if let's say someone want to start a business in India, and that business is a finance business, so there is a one authority document which is applicable, that how and who can do the business in India and what control objective he has to put. And as it is a finance, so I have a different document which talk about the finance and I can cite it. So it means a single objective can be cited from the multiple authority document. Citation, again, simple thing is that number of standards says, okay, let's take example that I am doing the incident management. Okay. And I want to be compliant regarding this incident management. Now, Prince 2 also has some standards for the incident management. ITIL definitely has some standards for the incident management. COBIT has some standards for the incident management. And Prince 2 has some standards about the incident management. So either I can use authority document and cite one by one for one thing, or I can do this thing, multiple authority document and just cite everything in a one objective. Because every standard is saying only one thing. You should not start work on the record until you have a ticket on the place. Clear or you picture a graph. If I show you like this, so agency is state of California. They have two type of authority documents, CCPA and CPRA. If you are working for someone, a consumer, so you can refer to CCPA for the consumer rights and you can bring your control objective on the place. If you are working on a personal information, you can use CPRA. But if I change the agency to the Europe, So they have a GDPR. Everybody say, as per the GDPR, we are not able to keep the European data or the UK based data in our local systems. But वो आ कहाँ से रहा? From where it has been origin? Why people saying that we are not able to do this particular part? And who is monitoring that? That is where the GRC is coming in the picture. Clear कुछ फंडा यहाँ पे तो by saying this in a Europe we have a GDPR, we have a DORA, and we have a EU AI Act. And every authority document has a different citation and the control objective. See simple, see incident reporting, incident response. सही तो मैं रोज करता हूँ, हाँ, but there is a number of things which we have to do so that we can show another day to the auditor that yes, we are maintaining, and we are following this process. All clear till this point? Doubt, question, clarification?
Yeah, Atul. So I have a doubt
Go ahead,
that
please, Ritam.
that citation part we have showed in the last slide, and that what I'm not hearing.
Let me come back here. This one, right? Or this
Yeah,
one?
this one. The next one. So
Okay.
that we had consumerized and disclosure. I mean, which is the citation and which is the controversy. And both can be considered or individually.
We have to see, we have to be configure authority document, then citation, then control objective, and then finally the control. These are the series of steps we have to be do. And then we make a policy around that. If you did not have the break, have the food for the 4 days, what will happen to you, Rhythm?
Yeah, you feel more hungry, and then we were
Yes, my body is getting weak.
correct.
So this is a risk. But now you go to doctor and say, hey doctor, I did not eat for the last 5 days. Any proof? You say that whenever I feel hungry, I just take a note of my blood pressure. Because I want to be I want to be control my weight. That is why I'm not eating from the last 4 days. There is a control objective. And not eating is my control. So it looks theoretical, so getting little bore or little tough to be understand. But when we go in the service now, you can see this linking very easily.
Oh,
So one citation can be used in the multiple places. इसने भी कहा, इसने भी कहा, इसने भी कहा. Now, if you notice this thing, whenever there is a court case going on, okay, at the last, what the honorable judge says, he or she says, by seeing the different or all the evidences, see, by seeing the all evidences and the wordings. So what he's doing, he's citing everybody who came in the court for the wordings or the cross questioning or whatever it is. He's citing everybody, that all evidences. After seeing all the evidences and the wordings, we come on this decision. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हुआ? तो ये
Yeah.
साइटेशन है, ये साइटेशन है, एंड दिस साइटेशन कैन बी यूज्ड in any other place as well, because I'm a BCom student and I read a little bit about the law as well. Okay, so in the law it has been told to us, to teach us, that as per this particular case, this resolution has been passed. State versus X, state versus Y. So what we're doing, we're citing that was in this particular case, the judge give this verdict. So I'm citing this in my work as well. So once you get, so if I come back here for a quick check, see this. So we are started from here. We discuss authority document. Means one agency can have a multiple authority document. And from the one document, we can have multiple citations. From the multiple citations can be cited to the multiple control objective. और ये क्यों है? क्योंकि एक control objective in the one control objective have a linking with itself in the subsections as well. So, and one control objective have, sorry, one control objective has a many controls. ये देखो ये भी one to many है. एक control objective से we can put many controls. As I give example that I have a small kid and I want that in the living room there is no sharp object. This is applicable for the sofa, this is applicable for the center table, this is applicable for the side table, and this is applicable for the chair as well. Objective क्या है? That the kid should not get hurted. To make sure that he should not get hurted, that is my control objective. I am putting multiple controls. Control on the sofa, control on the center table, control on the side tables. And every control objectives give us the risk statement as well. ये multiple हो सकते हैं. If the kid is alone in the room and can get hit with the sharp object, it's a risk. This is all funda about this only. That my company says it is a risk for me. How to be sought out? If someone says, hey, AI is coming, it is a risk. ठीक है, चलो मान लिया, it is a risk. But what control you are doing? I'm upgrading myself. That is my control. और controllability क्या है? To make sure I succeed, or I stay, or I survive in the industry for a long time. That is my control objective. And now to be achieve that control objective, you have multiple controls. Upgrade yourself, take some online trainings, take some offline trainings, have a plan for a daily study. तो कर क्या रहे हैं? To minimize the risk, I am putting some controls on the place. Now, from a control objective, we have a policy as well. In a bar, there is a policy. If you are under the age of 16, you are not allowed to enter in the bar. That is a policy. But exception क्या policy का? If you are accompanied by an adult, then you can go. Right? Then you can go. So ये क्या हो गया? Policy exception हो गया. I'm not saying that we are changing the control. Control is still same. But The policy is there and there is a policy exception is there. So sometimes what happens that in my room, if I'm sitting and doing my work, my wife says, "Okay, are you taking care of him, his? Are you taking about him?" I said, "Yes." "Okay, I'm just getting ready in the second room." This is policy exception because I am here, so she can leave the kid alone and she can get ready. If she is alone in the room, then exception will not work. Because there should be someone in the living room. There's a lot of things is placed in the room. Kid might get hurted. So now start thinking a little bit more on that part. In your company where you're working, multiple things are there. Just to minimize only one risk. Only one risk. Let's say in your company there the fire audit has been happened. And now they are coming with the new policy that in the every floor at least two people must be a fire boys. And if you are a fire boys, your chair will be of the yellow color. So that in case of emergency, anybody can recognize you. On the top of your desk, the clearly label will be there. What are this? This is policy. You can be firefighter only if you have a fire drill. Once you complete the fire drill and you complete the exam of that fire drill, only then you can applicable or nominate yourself for the fire boy. ये policies हैं. We need policy to maintain the control. To maintain why we're having the control because we have a risk on the place. In the night, drive slowly on your side only. Policy. Risk the chances in the night that people get sleep as well while driving. So रिस्क है तो फिर कंट्रोल भी है. What the government did, they put the different cameras in the different location so that you should not go beyond a specific limit of the speed. Clear हुआ? So ultimately we are here as a human being, we still have a policies. Now let's say in your house you are having a marriage and it is your elder brother marriage and you are the one who are doing all the stuff, going in the market, doing everything. Sometimes what happen that we break the policies. Whenever you are driving a two-wheeler, you must wear the helmet. And what we think as a human being, hey, I'm going 30-40 times in a day in the market. Let's keep the helmet in the vehicle box. Instead of wearing it, you're putting in the vehicle box. It means you are violating the policy. And due to that violation of the policy, you're breaking the control as well. And if control has been broken, the chances of risk will be high. So theoretically, we have to be understand this particular part. So once you set up these things, ये वाला area जो होता है, After that is all about the risk. Sorry, all about the testing. Test करके देखते जाओ. So as I say that when I work as a change manager, so there's an audit happen. So that person says, "Do you have a cab invites?" I said yes. Please forward to me. Okay. Do you prepare the cab agent? I said yes. Please show to me. Do you prepare the minutes of meeting after the cab meeting? I said yes. Show to me. That person sit in the cab meeting as well and start noticing that what and how I am driving this cab meeting. Because there's a control. A change must be get approved in a cab if it is a high risk change. And we have a policy that every Wednesday the cab meeting will be happen and these are the cab members. Also, we have a policy that a change must be approved by minimum 2 cab members if it is a high risk. And we have a policy exception. In case of emergency, in case of like COVID, it was not emergency, but it was something different type of event. In that case, we have exception that a verbal approval also work in this case. Clear over funda. Now I'm sure that in your mind you're able to visualize it that how it will look like. Start thinking that driving whenever okay. Start thinking in just reverse order of this particular example. Whenever you drive a car, you must wear a seat belt. Now doing the reverse engineering. This is the policy. Why this policy? We have control. Why control? We have a control objective. Why control objective? Because we have a risk. एकदम क्लियर हुआ फंडा बिल्कुल माइंड में that what we are building it now.
हाँ तो ये
Any question, Mahesh, Sai, Mohammed, K, Anu, Hemant, Dhruv, Kiran, Manish? Okay. If no question, let's move forward then. So this is what we discuss now. And finally, after the control objective, we have a controls on the place. Control we will discuss little later because we have a different type of controls, standard controls and the common controls. Now let's go to the service now. I saw yesterday the homework I have gave to you. I did not get chance for to see everybody's screenshot. Okay. So what we have done yesterday, we have installed a plugin called the Advanced Core and Policy and the Compliance. Let's go and check the tables here. This one. We'll see the mainly 3 tables now: entity class, entity type, and the entity. And we are in the application of the GRC. Let's see if I can see the package or something. It is easy for us to be GRC profiles. See, entity, entity type, item to entity type, but this is not the same table which we're looking for. I'm looking for only entity. Uh, Prompt issue. Let me this thing. Control to entity. See, it is saying control to entity. We are referring to it is referring to this screenshot. This linking. Control to entity. कि ये control entity से कैसे link है. If I go back to this particular image, yeah, control and entity, how they're linked. So this is the table we use it. Issue to entity, item to entity, entity type. Where is my table gone? Entity. See, okay, entity is basically coming from this part only. Service now tables and entity class. 75. Now we can see something here. Control to entity, M2M, M2M, control objective to entity type. Control objective to entity type. इन दोनों का linking. Okay, entity filter is another table. Issue to entity and entity hierarchy, entity to entity type. ये देखो ये रही. So entity is the third level table. ये क्योंकि पहले class फिर type फिर entity. So entity is get stored in the SNGRC profile table. And these are the part of application called this. Why I am discussing this table? Because we have to see that how this table are related with each other, even though we know that these are entity type, entity and entity class. So class is one, under class we have a type, and in type we have entity. But what other things are coming here? So entity has a domain, framework, description, what CI it map. Because as I say yesterday, that entity is mainly you can refer to the ServiceNow table itself. Location, CI, servers, application, user. So you can do this particular part. And if you go to the schema tell you that how this table has been referred or referenced in the other table. So if I say the show reference table, means this table has a multiple fields and from which particular table these fields are coming. So entity has an entity class and entity has an entity type नहीं है देखो, क्योंकि वो रेफरेंस नहीं है, वो रेफरेंसिंग में है. क्या होगा? Issue and this. अरे अच्छा है ना, देखो एंटी टू एंटी टाइप रिलेशनशिप. So schema tell. So sorry. This the purpose of showing the schema means to know that how many field this table is getting from the other tables. This is what is here. And how many other tables use this table in their place. That is called referencing. So this is the GRC profile table, the main table for us. If I go back, Let's go one more step. Now entity class. None of the table is getting extended from the task table. Specific reason, because if you see the ITSM, it's all about the task table. If you see the CSM, still there's a task table has been used. If you see the HRSD, still the task table has been used. But these are not getting extended from the task table. So one is entity and then entity class, GRC profile class, entity type, GRC profile type. Why profile? Why they're saying profile? Because this is something which are going to be used for the scoping purpose. So these three are our main tables: entity, class, and type. And if you remember that I said that we have a type, sorry, entity tier as well, and the entity class rule or entity filter. Filter for the purpose of auto creation of the entities. Now what we're going to do, we are going to be create a entity class and we link to the existing entity. But before that, because we installed two major plugins, one is Advanced Core and one is the Policy and Compliance. So let's see what are the roles are coming with this. Because if you remember that in the ITSM, to work on an incident, what all is required? Asset underscore incident underscore reader write. Because we're using from a long time, so we know everything. So we remember these things. But what matter here? So if you remember, if you see this slide, and let me come back. This one. We say there is a compliance team. And a compliance team is a combination of compliance manager and compliance admin. So now let's see that particular part. So we have a compliance manager, compliance admin, and the compliance user. So what we'll do, we are going to be go ahead and search it. ये देखो ये आ गए. Compliance admin means he is the user who is responsible for running the show as an admin, who can add, delete, update the records. Give me a minute. And then compliance manager. Compliance reader and compliance user is one thing. This is important to be understand. So today we are seeing the compliance role. Tomorrow or after some time when we go for the risk management and we will install the risk plugin, then we can see this almost similar nature of rules for the risk as well. So mainly in our GRC, we use compliance admin, compliance manager, compliance reader, or compliance user. Homework for you. That you have to be read and get this detail that what are the core responsibilities of each of this type of role. that work what has been done by the compliance user. By not they saying it, okay, it is idle user, because they're not going to work on the incident change. They are going to be work on the issues, attestations. Let me see if I got something here. No, that's fine. Now, how to access the next level of the compliance, or how to create the entity. So if I go here and let's say GRC. So I have a GRC admin page. GRC workbench is also there. Yesterday when we installed that compliance plugin, policy and compliance plugin and the advanced code plugin, I did not get the GRC workspace as well. Let's search for entity. Yeah, yeah. Policy compliance scoping. Yeah, yeah. Pura classes, type, tire, rules, bulk update entity class. How many of you have your own PDI? If I can ask.
Yeah, I have.
You have. Okay.
Yes, I have.
What I want, everybody should have your own PDI. And today's or is this week or this weekend homework for you guys is that install only these two plugins. Advanced Core, sorry, three plugins. Advanced Core, Policy and Compliance, and Compliance Workspace plugin. Install these three plugins and then we need to do the exercise as well. So I have a two ways. Either I can go here and I can click on the entity. यहाँ पे तो entity option नहीं है. Class, type, rules, tier. So what is the best way to be go for this one? Go to workspace and you can see this one. In the GRC application, in the ServiceNow GRC application, there, sorry, in GRC, there are the multiple applications. And the thing is that every application has its own workspace as well. Has its own workspace as well. So it means today we're talking about the policy and compliance. We can see one workspace. Tomorrow, when we are going to be discussing about the risk, there is a separate workspace. So it is not like it's not like the ITSM that only one workspace is there. So multiple workspaces are there, and you should know that what type of work will be available in what type of this thing workspace. So now if I come back here, this is my compliance workspace. This is my landing page, my authority documents. इसको भी छोड़ दो, बस ये देखते हैं अभी because this is not the main part for today. My policies, my entities, it is important. Any task open for me as of now? Later on. Issue later on. This is important. We are on the scoping part. So this is what the main area for us. So what the rule says? Rule says first create a class, then create a type, and then create a entity. ServiceNow not recommend to create the entity manually. This is entity must be exist in the ServiceNow table, and you can use the entity filter for the same. So let's say I'm creating an entity class. I'm not sure that why I'm getting these two options. I try to repair the plugin as well. Might be something wrong with the plugin only. So out of the box, ServiceNow give me these many classes. Almost what we discussed yesterday in the example. So this one. So if I come back here, this one, you can take this example, or we can take this example. We can create our own entity class as well. What type of tier it is? It is an application, business, or it is a IT asset. What type of class are you creating? I said it is a business. Is this is the root, primary, the basic, the first one? I said no. Then what's the name of this class? So let's take example of this one. Company is there, BU is there, department is there, process is there. Let's say I want to create a class called worker. LNG workers. And then save. My class is of the tier business and name is LNG worker. Now come back here. Class हो गई. We have to create a type now. LNG worker of what type? I can say, let's click on the new. Type is LNG worker of what I want to be type of the BPCs. No problem. And description, compliance score is readable and sorry, non-editable. The reason being this score will get auto calculated when you associate the authority document, citation, control objective, control, risk, policies, and the issues and the task. So it will tell you that how much percentage your entity type is compliant. So what is the entity type here? देखो, all department, पूरे department में से, means if I talk about the 100 departments in my company, so we are 80% compliance. Now, how much the individual entities are compliant? Might be some are 100% compliant, but some are 30%. So the average become the 80%. So now I can put BPC. So I can say the LNG BPCs. Easy to identify for us. And save. अब देखो entity क्या, अब if I go back here again, क्या था हमारा entity class? LNG workers. If you see what entity we have, अभी कुछ नहीं है. And child classes, we don't have any child classes as of now. So let's come back here. Type LNG BPC. Any entity filter. How you want to be create the entities now. So two ways. Either you can go and click the manual entity, LNG, and I can put what company I can put it here. SR bugs or this thing. Or you want to put the filter? No, I want to put the entity of a user. Task is. A task starts. Thing is there for me. Wait. Class, if I go back here, it's showing all the companies only. So it's showing the class is a vendor. See, class is location. Okay. Let's say what class it's showing. Class is, ये आ गया देखो. Classes, इसमें users नहीं है क्या मेरे? नहीं, इसमें users होंगे ना. People करके भी नहीं. अरे ऐसा कैसे? कल तो दिखा था मुझे. Let's say classes business unit. Record नहीं है, खाली है. Okay. Classes employee, sorry. कुछ भी नहीं आ रहा यार यहाँ पे. But I have a class of employee as well, but still not showing. Classes, okay, let's say company. ठीक है. So now you can see these things. Even honor is coming. So if I say that this is my one entity of type is BPC, this is the one way to create the entity, but ServiceNow did not recommend it. ServiceNow say use the filter so that tomorrow if something new added in this filter, you get the entity added automatically. So I click on the new now. And you can build your own condition, or you want to do some predefined conditions. Business apps using information business processes. I said, no, I want to create my own. Let's try to be our own. On which table? I want to be go on the table called CC user or employee table. What table they are referring it? Why it's not showing any table here? Come on. Entity class. Do I have a role or not? See, it's not showing anything. Ah, now it's coming. Okay. So we have to see that what criteria they have put in the background. See, so now it's coming the user table. I want to all the users condition where department is IT set, and under which class you want to map it. I want to map it on the LNG workers. Who is the default owner of these entities? I said able to do the default owner. Select field for the owner. Means user table may who should be this guy. Like if you're taking the location, I can say location. So for this entity, the manager is the location one. So I said for this particular source field of the owner, pick up the field from the manager. Not manager, or let's say department head is the owner of these entities. Auto-update the owner means if tomorrow I link the risk with that, so that place also the owner should get updated. I said yes. Or empty owner use default. I said no. Use default means which is there, it's there. Save. Now come back here. Entity entity filter, and now update entities from the filter, क्योंकि हमने filter add किया. So this is what my condition says here. Why entity is not showing here? Yeah, come on. तो है भाई रन अभी हमने. This is what happened. Even though I did my homework as well, still it's happened. Why it's not showing the entities here? So what it will show? How many users are there who are fulfilling this condition? So it's showing 116 matches are there. तो ये सारे मेरे entities हैं अभी. But why it's not showing here? That is my point. Now it's coming. See. So this is the benefit of using the entity filter. If you want to be add more entities instead of going and creating one by one. So what we have done earlier, added one by one. Instead of that, we can go and create the type directly here. Policy, objective, exceptions, content, a return part. Now, if you see this part, it's a 0. So we have only entity count is 1. अभी 1 दिखा रहा है, इसको refresh करते हैं. It's 100. It should be show 117 actually, because we have a entities 117 now. Might be take time to be loaded completely. So it will show 117. And as of now, I am on the 0 because there is no policy, no risk, no control has been mapped to my entities. It means it is not able to go for the compliance part as well. Here, everybody. Doubt, question, clarification. Say yes or no, at least.
Clear.
Good. So now what is the homework for you? Install the plugin and the screenshot which you shared in the group. Try to create the class, entity type, and entities based on that particular stuff in your own PDIs. So today we just created this thing, and on Monday I'll show that how to create the entity hierarchy. Can we create the entity hierarchy from here as well? Or we have to be use some other place to create the entity hierarchy. So now if you see the all entities is there. इसमें से 116 तो हमारी है. My entities. As I'm being admin, it's showing like this, where I am the owner. This one. ठीक है? Let's stop the recording and take a attendance now.